working. Barnaby Jack had a great day. He's a Kiwi computer genius who's been living in America working on hacking into ATM machines, truly. And this week he totally stole the show at a major computer security convention in Las Vegas by demonstrating his rare and rather naughty skills on stage. News of Barnaby's work has gone totally global. This has never been done before anywhere in the world, and it took a Kiwi to do it. That's good, we think.
So I've been researching ATM hacking for the last couple of years. So I took 2 ATMs on stage in Vegas. One of them I walked up, made it dump its entire dispenser on the stage. And the other one I essentially did the same thing, but I did it without even touching the ATM.
Okay, now Barnaby, this is not a trick, right? This is not an illusion of some sort or an elaborate piss take or viral marketing or anything. This is, you are really doing this.
Yeah, this is 100% legit. I mean, the vendors, the manufacturers of the ATMs, they know about it. They have fixes in place, thank God. So yeah, it's 100% serious.
Right. So in simple terms, what are you doing? You obviously have dissected these machines and you understand what makes them tick. But what are you saying to them? How are you talking to them?
Right. So. All the ATMs, so they dial out to make a transaction to connect with the bank processor, right? But they also have a way to be able to dial into these machines. So if you want to manage your ATM remotely, so you can, you can retrieve the settings of the ATM, change the splash screens and all that type of thing. Generally, to be able to access these machines, you'd need a combination of passwords. But I managed to find the bypass, which would let me get past all these passwords, let me access the machine, and then let me upload my own software onto the ATM, which completely overwrites the software that's currently on it. So of course my own software would then allow me to dump from the dispenser, capture people's credit card details, retrieve it, and I can do this all remotely from your hotel room or your bedroom, whatever it may be.
Now, I'm sitting here kind of giggling away at this, and people are going to be appalled, but we need to tell them you're a good guy, right? Because you are doing this to prove how vulnerable these machines are and to say, up your security, everyone. That's why you're doing it, right?
Right, I'm definitely a good guy, and the thing is, when you think about ATM security, you typically think about hardware measures, right? Making sure the ATM is bolted down properly, and skimmers, and RAM raids, and physical theft of the ATMs. You don't typically think about the actual software that's on the ATM machines themselves. But the thing is, and this is the first time that this type of attack vector has been publicly released. So, you have to release these threats to raise awareness and actually spark solutions to the problem.
Is it true that you were going to do it at the same
Credit cards, bank accounts, personal information, that's what we usually think about when we hear about hacking. But now we can add medical devices to that list. As part of our ongoing series, Hack Nation, we meet a professional hacker who says insulin pumps are especially vulnerable and the results could be fatal.
Barnaby Jack is a professional hacker. He works for a special unit of software security firm McAfee.
We concentrate on what we consider to be emerging threats in the security industry. So we pick things that I suppose cross over to the real world.
Best known for hacking into ATM machines on stage and making them spit out cash, Jack's new focus is hunting security holes in wireless medical devices.
And once I took a look, I was actually quite shocked to find out how many vulnerabilities actually exist there.
Wireless technology lets doctors remotely update software on pacemakers, internal defibrillators, and insulin pumps, and lets patients avoid surgery.
I picked insulin pumps mostly just because of the ease of actually acquiring them. We're planning on looking at pacemakers and various other implantable devices, but unfortunately it's a little tough to just be able to pick up a pacemaker on the street.
So, Barnaby, take me through how this all works.
Okay, so there's actually a vulnerability in these devices. Typically, to be able to communicate with them, you'd need to know the serial number I have a vulnerability which will let me acquire the serial number from any of these insulin pumps within a 100-meter range.
And that's this thing right here.
Yeah, so this is my software which exploits that vulnerability to actually return the IDs of any insulin pumps in that range. From 100 meters away, I can scan for any insulin pumps in the vicinity. It will return those insulin pump IDs, and then I can have them dispense their entire 300 units of insulin, which for a type 1 diabetic will easily prove fatal unless you seek immediate medical attention.
Most patients think they can turn off wireless capability, or that safety mechanisms will warn them of an attack.
What they don't realize is that I actually disable all of these warnings, and that the RF functionality cannot be turned off. It's always listening. Even if you turn off the remote option on the pump, this attack will still work because the RF transmitter is always listening.
Medtronic, the company that makes this insulin pump, says it is increasingly focused on security, but says at this time, we believe that the risk is low and the benefits of the therapy to people with diabetes outweigh the risk of an individual criminal attack. Medtronic may fix the software in the next version of their insulin pump, but there are no plans to recall the devices. The Food and Drug Administration, the federal agency tasked with policing the $95 billion U.S. medical devices industry, told Bloomberg current adverse event data do not indicate that breaches of device security measures is a widespread problem. But Jack believes there should be a recall.
I'm trying to go as public with this research as I can, just to show how easily these pumps can actually be attacked, and hopefully change the mind of the FDA and of Medtronic and of the public that maybe a recall could be in order.
Jack brought more attention to this issue when he spoke at a security conference in San Francisco today. As for the possibility that his research could inspire attacks, he says mass attacks are unlikely due to the technical skill required.
Hacker death mystery. He said anything could be hacked. Even a pacemaker.
There's big concern that hackers could get into this.
But days before his big announcement, he's found dead. Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining us. Are pacemakers hackable? Conspiracy theorists are having a heyday over the death of a computer hacker who was about to give a speech on just such a thing. Is it even possible? We sent Les Trent looking for answers.
His pacemaker can be wirelessly accessed with that number.
In the hit drama Homeland, a terrorist kills the vice president by hacking into his pacemaker, causing a fatal heart attack.
I'm killing you.
But that plotline may not be far-fetched. Professional hacker Barnaby Jack said it's possible, and he was set to reveal how at a Las Vegas hacking convention. But in a shocking twist, just a week before the convention, the 35-year-old hacking expert was found dead by his girlfriend in his San Francisco home. As the medical examiner investigates the cause of death, police say they don't suspect foul play, but the internet has lit up with conspiracy theories like these. The CIA didn't want the competition. It does make me wonder if he was killed, that the CIA and other government agencies don't want this flaw to be solved. Barnaby Jack has been called the ethical hacker and exposed computer vulnerabilities to help corporations. At a 2010 Las Vegas convention, he wowed the crowd when he showed he could hack into ATMs and cause them to literally spit out money.
As a consumer, we should all be aware that anything that is wireless or anything connected to the internet in some way, shape, or form can in fact be hacked.
At this year's convention, he was ready to shock the world with his pacemaker demonstration. But is it really possible? Dr. Richard Besser is ABC News chief medical editor and the author of the book, Tell Me the Truth, Doctor.
At this point, there's no evidence that anyone has ever had harm or died from someone hacking into a pacemaker. But it's a real concern that it could happen.
Even though the risk is low, the Food and Drug Administration is asking manufacturers to beef up security after researchers reported password vulnerability affecting 300 types of medical devices. The FDA issued this statement. The FDA is not aware of any patient injuries or deaths associated with these incidents, nor do we have any indication that any specific devices or systems in clinical use have been purposely targeted at this time.
Hacking in all areas of our life is getting more and more sophisticated. So this is an area where it's so important they put in controls so it doesn't happen.
Roughly 3 million Americans have pacemakers.